Hello, how are you? We're live. I'm live at the office. I don't know why the light is like too dark. Anyway, let me try the light. Let's see. Okay, I was trying to see if it's gonna be bright. It's still too dark. Anyway, I'm here at the office today, so we want to talk about what's going on. Please get in the system so we can talk about what's going on. Trying to see if I can put the light here. Hello, how are you? I'm trying to see if it's a light. Flash. Okay. How are you? How are you feeling? Let's talk about what's going on. The Supreme Court just came up with two decisions. Trying to see. Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can have the light. Do you have a question? If you have a question, please put it in the comment before we get started. Okay. Do you have a question? If you have a question, put it in the comments so we can get started. We've got a lot of decision to be discussing. Good enough. Okay. What is going on? The Supreme Court had a decision today. They made a decision on U.S. citizenship, U.S. Birthright citizenship. Okay. What exactly they said? Basically, what they're saying is that the judges cannot prevent the birth citizenship nationwide. Basically, they cannot have an injunction nationwide. They cannot do that. The injunction is just going to go for the state that filed a lawsuit. We only have like 5 states that filed a lawsuit. Okay, so those are the states that are going to benefit from it. So I just want to let me just put it here so we can read it. We have those states. Maryland is included, right? There's New Jersey, Washington. Those are the states that filed the lawsuit. those 5 states will benefit. Other states will not benefit from that injunction. Meaning what? Meaning that a child who's born from parents who are both undocumented, that child cannot be a U.S. citizen unless you are part of the lawsuit or you are among the states that filed the lawsuit. You live there. Otherwise, all those other states, remember we have 50 states, it's only 5 states that filed the lawsuit. So all those other 45 states, children born with parents, from parents that are undocumented will not benefit from birthright citizenship based on that court order, unless, you know, it gets challenged again and stuff like that. So yeah, right now they cannot benefit until that lawsuit go to its fruition, until the end of it. Okay. Good afternoon. Update about beautiful bill affecting. Good afternoon. Any updates? I don't have any, America Obina, I don't have any updates. Remember, we talked about it. The updates will be around, according to what I know, right? I might be wrong, but the update will be around September 30th, because this is part of the budget reconciliation. So at least we have August, we have July, August, and September. Okay. Hi, I got approved on the spot. Thank you very much. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Oh, simply sad. Yeah, that's simply sad. This new ruling is simply sad. Having 180 days extension, which has lapsed. Besides for calling them, you can send them a letter. Like you write a letter and you send it. You look at your receipt number. The address is at the back, basically at the end of your receipt, and you just send them a letter. Yeah, they do respond to letters. It take maybe 30 days, but they do respond to letter. If you can't get anybody on the phone, just write a letter. They do in fact respond to letter. Let me share my screen so we can discuss what's going on. Okay. So, wow. What is going on? We have a lot of news, but I want to focus, okay? I want to focus on major news. Some newses, I'm just going to pass through them, but some newses, I'm just going to focus on them, okay? For example, this one, civility violations. Basically, certain people are getting a letter from the DHS, Department of Homeland Security, saying that they have to pay fine for being here undocumented for too long. We have a person who received a letter with 1 million something fine, because remember it's like 2,000 something a day each day, or 200. I can't remember the exact number per day, but anyway, the executive order had a number to pay fine for being here undocumented, and DHS is actually sending those letters, okay, to people. Basically, this is what it says here. Civil monetary penalties under Immigration Nationality Act who failed to depart during the volunteer departure. That's for someone who failed to depart, and the one who has been here after final order, and those who are just undocumented and unlawfully present. So they're sending those letters. If you receive it, don't panic. You can contact your immigration lawyer. They can tell you exactly what to do. But they're sending those letters already. Okay. If you were ordered removed, you never left, and you don't have any other form of protection, you might receive the letter. If the person was granted volunteer departure and they never left, they might receive the letter. If you've been here unlawfully present, like overstayers, you might receive the letter, because we have an example of one person who actually received the letter. Okay, that's the first news. Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. Okay. The second news is temporary protected status for Haiti is over. Okay. Um, the TPS designation for country expire. It's expired on August 3rd, 2025, and the termination will be official September 2nd, 2025. Basically, if they have to deport someone, they'll do it after September 2nd, 2025. Because that's when, because you have the 60 days, 30 days, I believe, 30 days grace period to figure out your move, what you're going to do. After that, September 2nd, if they have to deport someone who's undocumented, then they can do it after September 2nd or on September 2nd. Basically, that's the cutoff. TPS 480 is over. Okay. Okay, this is the case we're talking about, the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court ruled 63 decision. Basically, they actually, a lot of people agree with this decision in the Supreme Court, because they have 9 justices, right? 6 of them agree that Trump can end birthright citizenship. Okay. So this is the decision. You can go, if you want to read it, you can read it. But technically, what it says is simple. It's just saying that the people who will be affected are the people who live in those other states that are not part of the lawsuit. 5 states filed the lawsuit. Among other, we have New Jersey, we have Maryland, we have Washington. I don't know those other 2 states, I have to double check. But 5 states filed the lawsuit. And those 5 states, there's an injunction on that US, on that Trump executive order. Meaning what? Meaning that if a child is born from those 5 states, from parents who happen to be undocumented, both parents, that child can still be a U.S. citizen, because there's an injunction on that. The Department of State can still issue the passport and the birth certificate. But those other 45 states, the department cannot, until the final decision of the court, because they never file a lawsuit. So if you happen, that's why I love Maryland. Everything good happened here in Maryland. That's why I don't know why people live in Florida. I don't know why people live in those other states. I'll find out which states they're talking about. But it's only 5 states. So, and Maryland is among those states. Okay. And number 4 news we have here, it says that justices say DHS orders final in withholding of removal cases. The U.S. Supreme Court held on Thursday that the 30-day statutory deadline for challenging deportation orders in withholding of removal cases starts when the U.S. Department of Homeland Security issues a final administrative review order, not when the Board of Immigration Appeals proceedings conclude. So basically, when do you challenge that? Within 30 days. Okay, when the decision is there, that's when you challenge if you want to appeal or not. But if you want to challenge that order, basically. But if you wait until after the Board of Immigration, don't have to wait. In other words, withholding of removal, again, is basically simply states that the person cannot be deported to their country because there's really clear fear of persecution. Most likely they'll be persecuted. However, the government can deport them to another country. So, yeah, let me see here what we have here. Yeah, that's why I said Maryland is the best place to live. I don't know if people go live to some other state. How to know my asylum interview results? Just after I get out? No, when you go to the interview to pick up you, they'll give you the result the day of the pickup. Do you want to know in advance? Call them. I don't think they'll let you know because they want people to go there. So you can call them. You can determine the answer. I don't think so because they're not updating this. They are not updating the case status online. Um, they are not, because that's what happened to our client. They're not updating that status. What else you can do is basically you can go to the EOR website to see if your case is in removal. But you don't want to do that, right? Because you'll be stressed out for no reason. If I were you, I'm just going to wait until that day. All right, I mean? So that's what I'll do if I were you. I'm just going to wait. Because online, you're not going to see any status updates. If you call them, they're not going to tell you anything. They're just going to tell you to wait. And if you go to check on EOR, if your case was referred already to court, you might see it. But if they're not referring until the actual date, you might not see it either. So might as well just wait. Okay. Yeah, it's dark here because today I'm at the office and the light is, for some reason, the light here is not like, not bright. Okay. So do we have questions? Okay. So let's see. Okay. So if a person has been auto removed and then they, instead of getting asylum, they get withholding of removal, it simply means that the person cannot be deported to their country. However, the government has the right to deport them to another safe country without notice, without hearing. That's the latest news. So, and you have to challenge that within 30 days of the decision, because if you go to court, you get a decision, you challenge the decision within 30 days. You don't wait to challenge it after the decision of the Board of Appeal. So that's what the Supreme Court said. It doesn't work like that. It's only 30 days from the immigration decision you challenge. Okay. So what else we have here? You're welcome. So do we have questions? Breaking news, the Supreme Court ruled that birthright citizenship in 45 states is going to go forward the way Trump wanted it. Only in 5 states, because they filed a lawsuit, their cases are on pause. So now, if those other 45 cases go ahead and file a lawsuit, it's not, I don't think it's going to work out because the Supreme Court has already ruled. You know what I mean? I have a phone call to answer it. Just hold on. Okay, so I had to talk to somebody. The court actually called me. Yeah, I had to answer to the judge assistant because we're trying to postpone a hearing. Yeah, we got it. I'll talk about it in my small video. Anyway, what they're talking here about. Where are you originally from? Yes, I'm from the DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo, Central Africa. Uh, can I renew my work permit based on asylum, no hearing date, but it's pending? Yes, you the asylum, you renew your work permit, you already got the first work permit, you're trying to renew, asylum is pending. The answer is yes, you can renew your work permit. So yeah, I want to go ahead and find out the 5 states. You're welcome. I want to go ahead and find out the 5 states where people can still get their citizenship if the children are born under the from parents who are happen to be both of them undocumented. So let me find out those states. Oh, we got a lot of states. I thought it was only 5. Oh, the other state didn't make it to the injunction. Ah, okay. 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 Yeah, here it's showing New Jersey, California, Massachusetts, Colorado, Delaware, Hawaii, Maine, Maryland, Michigan, Minnesota, Nevada, New Mexico, New York, North Carolina, Rhode Island, Vermont, Wisconsin. I guess they're going with the initial. I'm gonna have to research this one, but 22 states sued to stop the Trump block on birthright citizenship. Um, but initially it was 5 states, okay, and then the other states joined. Um, so if we go with the new Supreme Court ruling and those other states that joined later are part of it, then we have 22 states at least that can benefit from the lawsuit, because the lawsuit is still, there's an injunction on it. So the children can still be U.S. citizen. Like the department can still issue not the work permit, sorry, the passport and stuff like that. And the Department of Health can issue the birth certificate. But if those other states that joined the other 17 states that joined later are not part of it, then it's gonna be only 5 states. So I'm gonna have to research more on that. Then I'm just gonna put it back in the comment section. But anyway, that's the ruling. Okay. How can I contact the court for delayed joint motion to terminate removal proceeding? It's been 5 months since I filed it based on I-130. You should call the court. The court, every court has the phone number. Yeah, the court has a phone, immigration court has a phone number, like a direct number. Like you call the court to find out. You just call them. But if the case, is your case open, pending, like with a hearing date? That's first of all, we have to know that. If the case is not, if there's no hearing date, it's like the case you order removed long time ago. That's it. Never forget that. Even if you call them, they're not gonna give you anything. Yeah, because if the case was already closed in terms of this, the person has already been order removed, forget that. They'll do it when they want, because the case is no longer priority. You just wait. I mean, you can call, but you're not gonna really have an answer because they're not obligated to do it. They only obligated when the case is open. They have a 14 days window, 15 days basically. Yeah, so we need to know whether your case, like you've been ordered removed long time ago. Just know that they're not obligated to respond to you. So just leave the motion like that. One day you're gonna get a response. You can call, but they're not obligated. Okay, so that's the answer for that question. By the way, I'm gonna find out about this birth right, birth U.S. citizenship birthright, in terms of what state, particularly what state exactly can benefit from it and what state cannot benefit from it based on this new ruling. Yeah, it's like, it said 22 states sue the US, but I know initially it was only 5 states. Except if they move to New England because of the Jimen settlement. Yeah, that could be. Thank you for helping. You're welcome. Yeah, I'm gonna find out. Don't worry about it. I'll find out the exact states who can benefit from it and the state that cannot benefit from it. Then I'll put it in the comment. I have a lot of friends from Congo. They speak Portuguese. Yeah, they speak Portuguese because I guess they grew up in Angola. Because we have we kind of like border countries with Angola from one part, and most people were from the Democratic Republic of Congo. Why? Because their parents were from Angola, and they ran away from the civil war. They went to the Congo. That's why those people are technically from the Congo, but with Angolan ancestors. Yeah, that's why they speak Portuguese. That's basically what's going on with them. Yeah, but we speak French because of colonies. Belgium colony, and then they speak Portuguese because of Portuguese colonies. Those colonization and stuff. So, and they have ancestors from Angola because it's their parents ran away from Angola to the Congo because when the war was in Angola, and after the war was done in Angola, the parents went back with their children to Angola. That's why they speak Portuguese. So they have like 2 nationality, to be honest, because the children are just Congolese because they're born in Congo, but their parents or ancestors are from Angola. And when they went back, now that's why they speak Portuguese. It's kind of like a lot of people take asylum for that because of discrimination. Yeah, I know a lot of cases they won asylum because of that. Yeah, so anyway, so we are going to, yeah, all due respect. Thank you. Thank you. So we are going to, I have to find out what state exactly, because I'm still stuck with the 5 initial states. But according to what I saw, right, it's like 22 states sue, but I'm still stuck with the 5 states. Okay, don't get me on that. I'll do again my own research to find out what state is going to benefit and what state is not going to benefit from this new ruling. Okay. But Maryland, I love Maryland. Maryland is part of it. So if you're in Maryland, you just don't worry about this Supreme Court ruling. And Maryland to be honest, is the best state in my personal opinion. No sugarcoating anything. It's the best state ever, especially when it comes to immigration court. I like the judges in Maryland. In Virginia, I don't like it. Yeah, I don't like it. The only thing I don't like about Maryland is because the USCIS takes forever because they have a lot of cases. But other than that, I really like Maryland. But as far as immigration concerned, I like Maryland. I don't know why people live in Florida. To be honest, I never understood that, especially if you're undocumented. I don't know. I don't know. You see? I don't know. Anyway, so do we have a question? Do we have a question? Did you miss anything about those news? We have 4 major news. The first one, the biggest of all news, the Supreme Court just ruled about this new ruling, okay? US citizenship birthright. The state that challenged the order, the executive order, the states that sue Trump, those states are good for now. If a child is born today in those states, the child will be a US citizen. But the state that did not challenge Trump, it's over almost. Because at this point, if a child is born there, the child will not be a US citizen until the final decision of the lawsuit that's going on. So it's states by state specific. So that's the news. Okay. Second news, withholding of removal simply means that you cannot be removed to your country, but they can remove you to another country without notice. Second news. Third news, TPS for Haiti is over. Officially terminated September 2nd. That's the last date to be considered lawfully present in the US. September 2nd. Fourth news, they're sending letters to fine people, like a civil penalty, monetary penalty, like money type, for people who have been auto removed, they never left, undocumented, somebody without a status, technically. People will be receiving those letters. We got one with $1 million fine. Anyway, I don't even have 1 million. I don't know how that person is going to pay that 1 million. But anyway, that's the news. They're sending those letters. Those are the 4 major news. Okay. Is California affected by this? Let's see. Yeah, California is among the city that California is not affected because it's among the first cities from the beginning that sued Trump. California is not affected. Was in Arlington office today, and they have a lot of interviews. Yeah, all those old cases they're interviewing, and they're going a little bit faster. They're doing 45 minutes or 1 hour interview. That's it. If you do a lot, it's 1 hour and 30 minutes, like 90 minutes interview. They're breaking it in 2 steps. The first biography step, and then the actual question. That's it. They're going faster because they don't want people to be, especially the cases that have been pending for 10 years. If your case is good, chances are you get your asylum, because they don't want to backlog the court. But if your case is not good, it doesn't matter if you've been here for 10 years. It's just you're not gonna get it. So that's what's going on. Okay. Let's see what a state. Yeah, we're gonna talk about the state later. Let's see. I'm gonna find the actual list of states, then I'm gonna post it. That's what I'll do tomorrow. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna find the actual list of states and then I'll post it. That's what I'll do tomorrow. Anybody else? I guess this is it, right? Those are the 4 major news. We don't have questions. Please like and share, by the way, right? Please like and share. Yeah, we don't have a lot of questions. Those are the 4 major news. That's it. If you miss it, just go back from the beginning, okay, and watch it from the beginning. That's it. I will update you on the list of the states. And then I'll make my small video on TikTok. So until next time, bye-bye. Thank you.